evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to your November housing market update. I'm your host, Tazz Weatherly, and boy, do we have some breaking news for you. It seems the robot AI takeover of Earth will have to wait, at least as far as real estate is concerned. Online real estate giant Zillow is ending their AI-driven iBuyer program thanks to material shortages in home renovations and what company founder Rich Barton called an unpredictable algorithm. This news comes just 2 weeks after the company decided to halt its program. It now appears it's doing away with it completely, sending the real estate market into a frenzy. According to CNN correspondent Mark Del Preet, he says iBuyers have access to a tremendous amount of data. They can see months into the future and plan their inventory. So the fact that Zillow did not see this coming and wasn't able to make adjustments before it had to resort to an iBuying lockdown is pretty surprising. This shift, he says, demonstrates how difficult this business model is to scale up. Large iBuyer programs need to be scaled at both managing billions of dollars in capital, but also the logistical specifications of prepping a home for sale, down to the drywall and painting, as well as closing deals. There is only so much that technology can do, said Del Preet. At the end of the day, you need people to process a lot of transactions. Real Estate with Tazz did attempt to speak to Zillow. However, the AI itself could not be reached for comment, but we were able to get some thoughts from a very well-known realtor. Over to you, Tazz. Needless to say, this Zillow halt to their iBuying program is wild. However, if you were also watching October's video, you know that we alluded to the fact that the iBuying program algorithm was a lot higher than what the market was reflecting. So algorithms are a little behind because it's reactionary of the market, not actually projecting what the market is doing. So we see that Zillow was actually trying to project where the market's going. AI isn't emotionally based. Emotions can play a big role into what's happening with the market. We saw our market here in the Treasure Valley just increase, and a lot of that was actually based to emotional buying. It makes absolute sense as to why these AI algorithms are a little wonky. And as a realtor, that's one thing we always try to stress with our clients is that, hey, yes, look, Zillow or Trulia, Redfin, whatever it says your estimate of your home is worth is kind of in the ballpark, but the reality is that those algorithms do not think as home buyers do. For the average American, it's an emotional process, and AI does not take into consideration emotion, hence where we have this sudden stop in iBuying, which is kind of unsettling. It's kind of weird. It's going to be interesting to see what other iBuying programs do, such as Homey or Open Door, to see what's going to happen. At the end of the day, humans are still needed. And there are things that true real estate professionals actually bring value to that an algorithm cannot. I personally need human connection. Like if I wasn't a realtor, I would still use a realtor because they're the ones doing it day in and day out. And because they are human, they think like me. Zillow stopping their iBuying program is going to get very interesting. When it comes to the business of real estate, you can always trust an actual professional human being. Sorry, Skynet, next time, bring a blazer. Buyers may not have to empty their pockets to get into a home in a new pocket neighborhood from developer Neighborworks. Neighborworks is a local land trust-based builder that has been finding success in an affordability-focused model that turns a single block into a whole neighborhood. According to the Idaho Business Review, the new community broke ground on September 14th to mark the beginning of construction on its 8th and newest pocket neighborhood, Cold Bluff Cottages. It seems pocket communities are on the rise here in the Treasure Valley. Will the smaller scope of these projects lead to big trends? Tazz, over to you. So now we're hitting this trend of micro communities, which is really exciting here in the Treasure Valley. Here in the Treasure Valley, we have production builders that buy up massive amounts of land for a price, and then they produce it and make these massive subdivisions. And then you have custom builders that can go into different neighborhoods that do 100% custom. And then in between, you have semi-custom, right? We're starting to see a trend here in the Treasure Valley of pocket communities. Now, the pocket communities can be two different ways. One, it could be the Neighborworks way, where they take a single block of land and create micro communities and put in floor plans to efficiently use the space. Or you have what are called infills. Infills are where there's super small amounts of land, probably put 4 parcels in and build structures on that. Neighborworks is a great option for buyers that have felt that they've been priced out of the market and still wanting new product. Again, there are income limits when it comes to Neighborworks, that a certain percentage of their homes are sold to people that are making less than 80% of the median income in the Treasure Valley. For people that are wanting to stay in the heart of the Treasure Valley, which I consider Boise, Meridian, and Eagle, those places no longer have land, so what we're starting to see is a lot more developers get very creative with the amount of space that they do. Neighborworks is one of those options. It's nice to see innovation happening within the Treasure Valley, and Neighborworks is the innovative way of building product and using space and functionality, which is great. You'll get a new build product when you buy from them. You'll have great quality builds. I've bought and sold a number of them from Neighborworks, so I'm very familiar with the process and just know that they do a great job with their builds. They also always find like really good locations, in my opinion. Like, they're very sneaky in finding like locations that you would be like, what? Like, new builds are here? I'm very excited that they have their 8th development coming into the Treasure Valley. Thank you, Neighborworks, for that. Let's go back to the news though. Baby boomers staying put, but for how long? It's good to be king, and baby boomers are still sitting atop the real estate wealth throne. According to Inman reports, baby boomers are still in possession of far more real estate and property than Gen X or millennials. But thanks to a variety of factors ranging from pandemic paranoia to improved life expectancy, they're not selling their real estate on schedule either. Relative to previous generations, boomers are resisting the trend of exchanging their home for assisted living, and it's making waves through the rest of the market. According to the Times' data analysis, baby boomers have held the most real estate wealth of any generation for the past 20 years. Could this be a sign that boomers are aging in place? Let's turn to my casual self for that answer. Baby boomers are in a very unique space because of the fact that historically, we haven't seen a generation like this hold on to real estate as long as they have. In my opinion, the number one reason why that is because of life expectancy. People are ultimately living longer, so it makes absolute sense as to why baby boomers are holding on to their real estate longer. So we're seeing this shift in the market to where 55 and up are starting to just have more flexibility in their housing options. One thing that I love so much with 55 and up is their communities. One of my favorite communities is actually Brighton and their Cadence community. Brighton's Cadence communities are, in my opinion, the best because they're lively, they're upbeat. I've been to their parties, I've seen their clubhouse, I've seen their builds, and they put so much thought into what a community should be. It's a community to where you can still live on your own, but you have access to different resources in case you need it. If you're interested in different options, I'm gonna do something wild. Send me an email with the message boomer on it so that way you and I can start a conversation on the different living options you have if you're 55 and up. And this concludes your November housing market update. I'm your host, Tazz Weatherly, and because it is November, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching and appreciating this content and also sending me your referrals. Without you guys sending us your referrals, there's no way we could have ever imagined creating this. So thank you so much for sending us your friends and family. A referral is the biggest compliment we could ever receive. And the fact that you guys continue to allow us to create this content, to create education and do it in a humorous way with the referrals you send over to us is the best thing ever. And from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you.